Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and welcome to my very first review of The Sims Sparked, a reality TV show where Simmers are competing to win $100,000 through a series of different challenges. Sparked does first air on TBS in the United States on Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then on Monday, BuzzFeed Multiplayer uploads the episode to their channel so that more of us can watch it. I do plan on reviewing each and every episode. There's only 4 in this season, so I guess this is what I'll be doing every Monday for the next few weeks. So this first episode is titled Pro Sims Players Compete for $100,000 in The Sims 4. And we do start off with all the contestants walking in, and you can see some EA employees on the stairs. I definitely recognized a couple of Simgrus there, like Simgru Steph and Simgru Romeo. And we do get to know the judges and the host. So the host is Rayvon Owen, who actually was a contestant on American Idol. Then for the judging panel, you have Kelsey Impishike, I hope I said that right. She's better known as Kelsey Dangerous, and she is well known on BuzzFeed Multiplayer for doing the 100 Baby Challenge in the game. And there's Taylor Parks, who is a voice actress on The Sims 4 right now. And of course, I'm sure a good amount of you know this guy, Dave Maki, Simguru Ninja, who is a current producer on The Sims 4. And yeah, that's our judging panel for this season. I don't know if they'll change it up with each season of the show, but that's what it is for this first season. Looks pretty interesting so far. Simguru Ninja does happen to be one of my favorite Simgrus, and I have had the pleasure of meeting him in person multiple times. Very cool guy all around. And I did meet Kelsey very briefly at Disneyland last year, and yeah, she's pretty cool as well. That is pretty cool that they also got a current Sims voice actress, Taylor Parks, as well. And in case you didn't know, she does have a song on the Get Famous soundtrack, Me vs. Us, so feel free to give that a listen too. We also get to know the teams, and they are split off into 3 different roles, stylist, builder, and storyteller, and we have 3 people on each team. On Team Gnome, you have Plumbella, Simproved, and the English Simmer. On Team Cowplant, there's Little Siha, Dr. Ashley, and Steffo Sims. On Team Freezer Bunny, there's X-Urban Sims X, Spring Sims, and D-Sims. And finally, on Team Llama, you have X Mira Mira, Simlessy, and Dr. Gluon. For me personally, this is quite an interesting lineup because I've met nearly all of these people multiple times in person, so it is quite interesting to see many of these people who I consider my friends competing on this show. And yes, you may have noticed they are all game changers. I'm not too surprised that they would do this for the first season just to really test everything out, but I hope they change it up in season 2 and have more people that are not really game changers or even social media influencers at all. I mean, you could have some, but just have it more mixed up so it's not just all about us, the game changers. They do plan on potentially having top Spark creators who win that gallery challenge that's going on right now as part of season 2, so that already is a good sign. There is one part I find a little fishy though, because they said that they were splitting the Simmers off into different teams at random, and the roles they got, I feel almost all of them were very, definitely chosen. Not at random. The only one where I was like, okay, I guess that one was a little bit random was with Steven, Spring Sims, as a builder, because personally I know him more as a storyteller, but otherwise it's like, oh, okay, yeah, Simproof, that makes so much sense for her to be a builder. Same with Simlessy and having X-Urban Sims X as the storyteller. Yeah, it seems like it did fall into place pretty conveniently. I did see some people ask why weren't Plumbella and Steffo Sims put on the same team, and I did see one answer that I agreed with, that they'd be too powerful together. They would just dominate everybody, so yeah, I'm glad they're on separate teams. So the first out of 2 challenges in this episode is where the contestants have to style, build, and create a story featuring 3 items of inspiration. So they actually had to run at a table and grab a prop that they wanted to use for their story. And, well, this moment already went viral when the trailer went out, but it's pretty funny how Molly, the English simmer, ended up slamming into the table. She really wanted those voodoo dolls, and I'm glad she got them. It definitely worked in her favor, as we can see later on in the episode. I do like this idea, though, of creating Sims and their stories based off of some random items. That makes me want to actually try that out myself. It was even funny when Mira did her confessional and she was saying, oh, well, that was kind of weird. I grabbed a guitar and Dr. Gluon grabbed a fishing rod and Simlessly grabbed the bubbles. And it's like Simlessly chose between either a dog food bowl and bubbles, and she chose the bubbles. Well, not gonna lie, I probably would have made that same choice. So the teams work on all their content and present it to all the judges one by one. And they definitely came up with some interesting stuff. It's pretty impressive considering how little time that they had. It was also funny at certain moments where the game was kind of working against them, because that's just how The Sims is with its open-ended nature and its quirkiness. Like when Dr. Gluon was presenting his team's story, and then there was the kid painting the floor, because the kids in The Sims 4, if you have parenthood, they tend to do that a lot, span that interaction over and over again, and just trying to get the kid to stop. Yeah, that sort of stuff. In the end, Team Llama and Team Freezer Bunny ended up being the bottom end of this challenge, and Team Gnome took the win. And yeah, like I said, with the English Simmer, definitely worked in her favor to be able to grab the voodoo dolls, even if she injured herself a little bit in the process. Then we move on to the second challenge of the episode, where each team has to make a family of 4 Sims who live in Willow Creek, and they have to have a detailed backstory. And they also have to work with a video editor to put together a short story of this family in action. And there ended up being a twist, because they had 5 hours to do all of this, and a bit way through, they actually said that there is this twist that they have to actually have a rival family in another world. And because Team Gnome won the previous challenge, they got to choose where their rivals live, as well as where the rivals of the other Team Sims live. I did find it pretty amusing how they actually chose worlds for the other teams that they thought were good for them instead of trying to hinder them. I even saw Rayvon did make a comment about that. It's like, Blumenfeld said that she'd rather end up being nice so that she gets eliminated, she'll at least be nice on the show. But yeah, I guess that really says a lot about how our community is, because yeah, even though every fan base does have its toxic people, I find that the Sims community is the nicest community that I've ever been a part of. So then the teams do this second challenge and present their stuff to the judges once again. And I definitely like my fellow Canadian Dr. Ashley doing the voiceover for their Gossip Girl inspired household. But another couple of things about this challenge is that the losing team of this challenge is the one that does get sent home, and the winning team actually gets their family featured in the game. And I'm a little confused about this latter bit because, well, in Team Gnome's story, because yeah, they won once again, looks like we already got a strong team established in this show, but yeah, they had Mary and Blossom appear, and I was like, wait a minute, Mary and Blossom from Evergreen Harbor and Eco Lifestyle? So it seems like their family sort of got into the game, but it's not all the Sims they made, so yeah, that's what's confusing me there. So I don't know if maybe some of their other Sims might make it into another pack later on or something like that, but yeah, Mary and Blossom, I guess, originated from Sparked, unless they were using a build that had Eco Lifestyle in there and the Blossoms just happened to be in there, but I don't know. I think it is that Mary and Blossom originated from this, since the team won and they used that family with those 2 Sims in there. This show, I believe, was filmed later last year, so Eco Lifestyle I think would have still been really early in development, so Nox wasn't around at all in their story, obviously, so yeah, seems like they created Mary and Blossom and then Maxis created Nox. But then we move on to the elimination, so it was a close call between Team Llama and Team Freezer Bunny. With Team Llama, they're saying, well, the story could have been more cohesive and overall wasn't really the best, and then with Team Freezer Bunny, that was hard to watch, especially for Jen. She seemed the most disappointed with how they weren't able to actually finish their entire video. They just had to work with what they were able to do in the time limit because they did a little bit of voiceover, but they weren't able to voice over the whole thing. But the story did end up being pretty powerful and emotional, even without the voiceover. However, that was not enough to save them, and they got sent home anyways. Then after that, we do get a preview of what episode 2 is going to be, and it's going to be focused on supernaturals. Heck yes, I'm all about that for sure. But to go over more of my opinions on the whole episode, I am a little surprised with which team got sent home. Because, yeah, even though Team Freezer Bunny didn't get to finish their video, it seemed like their story overall was better than what Team Llama came up with. And it seemed like the Team Llama was falling apart a little bit because it was really probably the hardest part of the episode for me to watch, with some manufactured looking drama between Mira and Dr. Gluon. Because the thing is, especially like I said earlier, I know both of these two people, so it was hard for me to watch to see Mira be so upset over her being talked over by Dr. Gluon. So I can definitely relate to Mira there. I know what it's like to be in a team of people, and there's just voices talking over you, and they don't really take the time to listen to you much, if at all, because they gotta go with their vision. It's their way or the highway. But then on the other side, it's also really awkward for me to see Dr. Gluon being portrayed as this dominating sort of character within his team, because I've known him for a long time, and he's this really nice, wholesome guy, probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and he's built up this really nice community, so it is really weird to see him being shown this way through the way that the show is edited, because then it's just the people who don't know him at all, I think, are going to get the wrong first impression of him as this really bad guy, this sort of villainous character, when I've never seen him like that at all. I wonder if maybe the pressure of being on this show got to him. I don't blame him for being stressed out, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of what happened. I do think there was some actual drama there, though, because Mira definitely has the right to be upset if she feels like her voice is not being heard, and Dr. Gluon may be coming on a little too strongly with what he thinks the team should do. It's definitely a crappy situation to be in. But I think that a lot of this drama was manufactured as well to make it look a lot worse than it actually was, to try and draw in more casual viewers and try to get them to come back to see where everything goes later on. It does make me worried for that team in particular with the next episode, because unless one of the other teams just messes up horrifically, Team Llama is probably going to be the next team that gets eliminated. But let's say if Team Llama had been sent home and Team Freezer Bunny was kept on, I think it would have been less obvious as to, who may be eliminated in the next episode, though I wonder if also maybe that's part of the reason why Team Llama was kept. But yeah, I think Team Freezer Bunny could have bounced back extremely well if they had been kept on. Maybe they could have even won, who knows, but yeah, that's, I guess, in a different timeline somewhere else in the multiverse where that will happen, but nope, not this timeline. I also would have loved to see more interaction between the Simmers outside of the competition itself. There was that one scene, it was very brief, Dr. Gluon was talking about practice runs or something like that. I would have loved to see more of that, because I feel like this is better described as a game show than a reality TV show. But with my disagreements on who got eliminated and the editing of the show, and also how the teams were selected, I still enjoyed watching the show. I think it is still a fun watch, so I'm still looking forward to seeing what the next 3 episodes are going to be all about. So feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section below of Sparked, and if you're looking forward to seeing the next few episodes as well. And I know this is very different sort of content compared to what I usually do, because I'm typically criticizing a video game, not a show about a video game. but I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, be sure to subscribe to keep up with my latest content from The Sims, Paralives, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!